So normally at the beginning of my videos, I take the time to, get a good laugh out of you guys, show you something funny or, something like that to put you in the mood for the episode. But we have a tragedy today, ladies and gentlemen. I've been looking through my YouTube analytics, and I am surprised by how many of you guys watch the videos but are not subscribed. So I am taking my own spot today from funniness and laughing and SpongeBob jokes to tell you guys to subscribe. On with the video! What is going on, guys? It is Kilodrone, and welcome back to some more Minecraft here on the Solo series. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in our vampire house that we made in the last episode. And I have to say that I'm still very much in love with the decor that we have added to the inside of this building. We didn't have a lot of space to work with, but I think that we definitely made it work. All of the paintings here in the bedroom really feel like this is an actual living chamber. And then if we go ahead and head down, we have ourselves a nice little library and seating area. And then all the way at the bottom down here, we have ourselves a nice kitchen. And if we go underneath here, we have our blood cellar, which is where our vampire would be obtaining the blood to keep himself nice and healthy. Now, there was actually a comment on the last video that I really liked, and we won't be able to do it in this episode, but somebody recommended that we add some type of villager down here in the cellar, as if that is who the vampire is keeping to fill up these barrels. So maybe he feeds a villager that is in a cage down here, and as that villager produces more blood, he pumps out the blood into these barrels, and it's like an infinite blood source. I'm going to be honest with you, it's kind of demented if you think about it, but let's just not think about it because it's a really cool idea. So I think that one of these days we will add a villager down in that cellar, just as a little bit of an added effect, so you know where all of the blood is coming from. But in today's episode, I have a couple of things that I would like to do. First and foremost, I'm going to be adding a new building in this area here. There's kind of a famous building in the Nightmare Before Christmas world that is a spider. It kind of looks like a spider anyway, and it is off to the left side of the town hall. So I'm going to be adding that in today in this general area. So that is what we're going to be working on for the majority of the episode. But also at the beginning of the last episode, I mentioned to you guys that I had gotten some horses on a live stream and that I was going to show them to you, and then I forgot to show them. So I'm going to go ahead and take a trip to the Nether real quick and show you guys those horses. They're not a bad set. They're not the best in the world by any means, but they are decently fast. Let's see if I can remember what stall I put them in. I want to say it's over here. Yes, there we go. So we have two horses here. We have one that has some iron horse armor and then one that has some gold. They're both relatively quick. Like this one is not the worst in the world. As you can see here, pretty fast, has a decent amount of hearts on him. And I believe this one can't jump very high. If we go ahead and go over to this coal, I don't think this guy can get up on top of it. Yeah, so this guy can't jump very high, but he is pretty quick. And then our other horse, oh, what happened to this guy? He started glitching into that glass block. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get off of this dude and check out this gold horse. This one is also pretty fast. As you can see, not as fast as the iron horse, but I believe this one has a slightly higher jump. So if we go ahead and do this, maybe it doesn't have a higher jump. It's definitely slower, I feel, but neither one of them are particularly good jumpers. They are mostly just speedy horses. So got two of these guys. We'll probably have to get some more at some point, or maybe we'll just breed these two guys together. I'm not really sure. I don't know a lot about horse breeding in Minecraft because, well, I've never really played around with it. But at least we have two horses here now in our Nether hub that we can use to get around from place to place if we need to. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to head back to the overworld, and let's go ahead and talk about this building that we're going to be creating in today's episode. So back here in the overworld, let's head back up to the town hall into our storage area. And basically what I want to do with this spider building is really break up this skyline. I've been talking about this skyline a lot recently, and that's because I have a lot of builds planned for it. I already have 2 of the towers that are going here planned out in my creative test world, and I also already have this spider building that we're going to be creating today planned out in my creative test world as well. But basically, the reason that I'm focusing on this area so much is this is a direction that we look quite a lot. And by seeing all of this green shrubbery and the trees back there, it really kind of takes you out of the I guess the lore that we're trying to build in this area. So if we can break up this skyline more and more to where you can't see that stuff as much, I think this will really start feeling like its own little, let's call it its own little realm around here. So I think that I'm going to put the spider building right up close to this wall here. I kind of want it situated, because it is going to be circular, I kind of want it situated in a circle right up next to this. Maybe to where if we're using this as a path like we have right now, we could like be going underneath the spider building in order to head out in this direction. So that's something that we can add in as kind of a bit of detail, is kind of have a path underneath the spider's legs. So that is something that we will work toward as well. I think that's a good idea. Also, I think I might want to go ahead and remove this brick here and maybe just set it back by 1 and make this path a little bit wider. Maybe make it 3 blocks wide. That way this just feels a little bit more, I guess, wider. Is that a good word? Let's go with wider. That sounds like a good word. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get my inventory cleaned up, and I already have some materials set out over here. This spider building is going to use the exact same materials that we've been using. Lots of stone, lots of andesite, and lots of cobblestone. So I have some andesite, I have some stone already mined up, and I also have some cobblestone. So we should have all of the materials to build this building. Now all we need to do is actually put in the work. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to empty out my inventory a bit here, and then I'm going to get started on the build. And you know what? I think this is the perfect time for a time.
Better of the strangers, believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, neath the pale moon, loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my bite. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 Creeping through the shadows and the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf.
Alrighty, ladies and gents, we are back, and that is the spider building done. It actually came out looking pretty good. I quite like this, and it does exactly what I wanted it to do in breaking up that skyline at the back, so you can't really see as much of the forest as you come walking through the town square here. So this is serving its purpose, and it looks very close to the original, or I guess as close as you can get a circular object in Minecraft to look circular. It definitely does look like a spider though, which I really, really like. Now, something that we do need to take care of with this building is the interior and probably some landscaping around it as well. I like that idea that I had with the path going underneath this thing. I think that's a really good idea, so I think I'll go ahead and do that. But the interior, the build on the inside here is only a 3x3 area, so it's not like we can do a ton of detail on the inside anyway, but we can at least make it feel like a home. So what I'm going to do is add a way to get in and out of this thing. So what I'll do is I'll just take some ladders and run it up this back leg like so. That way it's not where we would normally be looking. So if we are looking from this direction, we can't see a ladder in order to get in and just break up this building. I don't want that, so I want it to be kind of hidden from our everyday view. So we'll go ahead and add ladders going up here, and then ladders going up here. And then once we get up to this area, I guess we can just do ladders up the back like so. And that should get us up to the top. Now, once we get up here, I think I'll just bust in. Should I do it at the corner or should I do it kind of toward the middle? I kind of think the corner will actually be better. So we can just kind of hop in like this, and now we are in this little home. So what we can add in here is things like a little bed, so something like that, so that this person, whoever is living in here, actually has a place to sleep at night. And then we can add in a barrel for them to store some of their things. We can add in a lectern because, you know, people, I don't know, read. We can kind of use that as like a nightstand or something like that. And is there anything else? Maybe like a little crafting bench set up on top of the barrel for them to make whatever materials that they need. And overall, just make this area feel a little bit more like a home. I mean, obviously, we're only working with a 3x3 space here, so there's not a whole lot we can do, but you know what? Overall, I think that this works. There's not really a whole lot more that we need to add to this. I guess we could add like a trapdoor on the top up here, but I mean, really, that's not really needed because you're never going to see this anyway. So I like that. I think that that's good. I'll get a trapdoor and add that later on if I want to. But overall, I really like how this spider building turned out to look. Okay, do I have any wood? I really want to get a trapdoor up there before I forget about it. Also, I want to add in that path today. I would like to start having some streets go in and around the buildings here. That way we can get back and forth between them on a actual path. I don't want to continuously rely on just whatever path I make up on the spot. Let's go ahead and get a couple of pieces of wood here. And whoops, that was wrong. There we go. And let's make ourselves up a trapdoor. So there we go. And we'll use this as kind of a door to get in and out of that house. But yeah, I'm thinking for this path, I want it to kind of go underneath the legs of this building. So what I'm thinking is come out from here and then have it go underneath at like a diagonal. And then from here, it can break off into the other buildings that we'll have here. So we'll probably need to add in like some back doors to these buildings that we're going to be adding. So I have 2 more buildings that need to go here. And then I probably want to add in something to the back of this so that we can enter into it as well. I'm missing a block here for some reason, and I don't know why. Let's go ahead and just place that back in. I don't know why that's missing, but that's fine. Anyway, so yeah, I think I want to do that with the path here, and that's going to be a little bit more work. So I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make a cut, and I am going to figure out exactly what I want to do for a path, and I will bring you guys back in just a minute. Alrighty, ladies and gents, we are back, and let me go ahead and give you guys a general idea of what I am thinking. So as you can see, we kind of have a path laid out here. I stuck with the same kind of pattern that we used over here in the courtyard with the andesite, the stone, and the cobblestone, because I really think that those look pretty good together. So I went ahead and I kept that over here for our path. And kind of what I'm thinking is I would like for our path to split in 2 directions, with this being the splitting piece. So as you can see here, what we have is the path coming out of our courtyard area, and then it's going to come over to here and it's going to split. part of the path is going to come over here, and it's going to wrap around behind these houses so that we have access to the interiors of those from back here. This is kind of a work in progress because I still have 2 more buildings to go up in here, like I said, but this will at least give us access close by that we can access these buildings even once they go in. This will also allow us to take a path into this cave. And if you guys remember correctly from the last episode, if you go into this cave and wrap around, you actually end up into the vampire's house. So we can actually make kind of a path system for the vampire to get in and out of his cave just by using some of the natural terrain in order to let this guy out and into the sunlight. So that's kind of a cool little detail that we can add in there. So that's one plan that I have. This path will kind of wrap in this direction behind all of those buildings. And then this path can kind of just go off in this direction, maybe have some more houses out in this area so we can break off a path that way if we need to. So this one is kind of our extended path. We can extend this however far that we want to. We can go wherever that we need to with this path. This is one that we can kind of just play around with, do whatever we need to. And then this one will actually have a use in order to get into these buildings here. So that is kind of my general idea with this pathway. I think that that's a pretty good idea. It's going to take a few episodes, I'm sure, to actually make this area feel a bit more alive, but overall, I really like this. So that is what we're going to go with. So I'm pretty sure that's it for this building for the most part. I mean, the actual building is done, the interior is done, and we kind of have the underneath in a state that I know what I'm working with. It's not done. We still need to add in probably some shrubbery around here to make it look a little bit more lifelike, because right now there's literally no plants or anything like that. Basically, I need to add in a bit of flavor into this area. Just something to give this area a bit more life, like somebody actually lives here. Another thought that I had, and I don't know how I would implement this, but if we go ahead and into this cave here, which, as you can see, this cave is very long. It actually ends up over here in some way. And I actually like the idea of using the natural caves that are spawning around our base as like little pathways around the city. I don't know why, but I really like that idea. So if we follow this cave down as far down as we can go for the most part, if we avoid this hole and we just keep going through this little cavern that has some offshoots, keep going. Do you guys know what that is down there? That is our sewer. We can actually tie in these houses to the sewer system that's already down here. So that's kind of a cool little added feature that we can try and work into at least some of the builds in our town here. I think that would be really cool if we can get at least a couple of them hooked up to the sewage system. And like I said, there's not going to be actual sewage running down here, but it'll give like a nice little escape route or something like that for the citizens. So it's just another little added detail. I don't know how I would tie this in yet to some of the buildings, but it's definitely something that we have at least potential with to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover up this hole because this hole is not useful because it goes way too far down. In fact, let me go ahead and just add in a torch somewhere around here. Can I reach a torch placement? There we go, and now cover that up. Perfect. So anyway, now that I know that this is here and that it reaches to our sewer system, we can play around with some ideas for that, and I really like that idea of kind of hooking up at least some of these buildings to the sewage system itself. But anyway, guys, I think that is going to be where I end off today's episode. Maybe a short one. I don't know exactly how long the time lapse is going to be, but I do hope that you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video, as well as if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. You guys have a great day.